Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Little Chapel of Faith Catholic Ministries. Here for our readings from the Diary of Saint Faustina, which we do every day. If you are just coming in now, our YouTube page does have a playlist of all the readings and some extra things from the order to which she belonged, and some of the nuns give even more detail to the diary. So if you do have a chance to take a look at it, they're really, really interesting and very, very calming. So we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. O Divine Master, what happens in my soul is your work alone. You, O Lord, are not afraid to place the soul on the edge of a terrible precept, where it stands alarmed and filled with fright, and then you call it back again to yourself. These are your imponderable mysteries. When in the midst of the interior torments, I tried to accuse myself in confession of the smallest trifles. The priest was surprised that I had not committed graver faults, and he said to me, "If you are as faithful as this to God during these sufferings, then this is in itself is evidence to me that God is sustaining you, sister, with a special grace, and it is a good thing that you do not understand this. It is a strange thing, nevertheless, that confessors could neither understand me nor yet set my mind at peace concerning these matters until I met Father Andras and later on Father Sepulko. A few words about confession and confessors. I shall speak only of what I have experienced and gone through within my soul. There are three things which hinder the soul from drawing profit from confession in these exceptional moments. The first thing, when the confessor has little knowledge of extraordinary ways, and shows surprise if a soul discloses to him great mysteries worked in by God. Such surprises frighten a sensitive soul, and it notices that the confessor hesitates to give an opinion. And if it does notice this, it will not be set at peace, but will have more doubts after confession than before, because it will sense that the confessor is trying to set it at peace with while he himself is uncertain. Or else, as he happened to me, a confessor unable to penetrate some of the soul's mysteries refuses to hear the confession, showing a certain fear when the soul approaches the confessional. How can a soul in this state obtain peace in the confessional when it has become so oversensitive to every word of the priest? In my opinion, at times, at such special trials sent by God to the soul, the priest, if he does not understand the soul, should direct it to some other experienced and well-instructed confessor. Or else he himself should seek light in order to give the soul what it needs, instead of downrightly denying its confession. For in this way he's exposing the soul to a great danger, and more than one soul may well leave the road along which God wanted it to journey. This is a matter of great importance, for I have experienced it myself. I myself began to waver, despite special gifts from God, and even though God himself reassured me, I have nevertheless always wanted to have the church's seal as well. The second thing, the confessor does not allow the soul to express itself frankly and shows impatience. The soul then falls silent and does not say everything it has to say, and by this profits nothing. It profits even less when the confessor, without really knowing the soul, proceeds to put it to rest. Instead of helping the soul, he does it harm. The soul is aware that the confessor does not know, because he did not allow it to lay itself fully, as regards both its graces and its misery. And so the test is ill adapted, and I have it submitted to some tests at which I have had to laugh. I will express this better thus. The confessor is the doctor of the soul, but how can a doctor prescribe a suitable remedy if he does not know the nature of the sickness? Never will be able to do so, for either the remedy will not produce the desired effect, or else it will be too strong and will aggravate the illness, and sometimes, God forbid, even bring about death. I am speaking from my own experience, because in certain circumstances it was the Lord himself who directly sustained me. The third thing, it also happens sometimes that the confessor makes light of little things. There's nothing little in the spiritual life. Sometimes a seemingly insignificant thing will disclose a matter of great consequence, and it will be the confessor of a beam of light which helps him to get to know the soul. Many spiritual undertones are concealed in little things. A magnificent building will never rise if we reject the insignificant bricks. God demands great purity of certain souls, and so he gives them a deeper knowledge of their own misery. Illuminated by light from on high, the soul can better know what pleases God and what does not. Sin depends on the degree of knowledge and light that exists within the soul. The same is true of imperfections. Although the soul knows that it is only sin in the strict sense of the term, which pertains to the sacrament of penance, yet these petty things are of great importance to a soul, which is tending to sanctify, and the confessor must not treat them lightly. The patience and kindness of the confessor open the way to the innermost secrets of the soul. The soul, unconsciously as it were, reveals itself by a small depth and feels stronger and more resistant. It fights with the greater courage and tries to do things better because it knows it must give an account of them. I will mention one more thing regarding the confessor. It is his duty to occasionally put to the test, to try to exercise, to learn whether he is dealing with straw, with iron, or with pure gold. Each of these three types of souls needs different kinds of training. The confessor must, and this is absolutely necessary, form a clear judgment of each soul in order to know how heavy a burden can carry at certain times. In certain circumstances or in particular situations, as for myself, it was only later on, after many negative experiences, that when I saw that I was not understood, I no longer laid bare my soul or allowed my peace to be disturbed. But this happened only when all the graces had already been submitted to the judgment of a wise, well instructed, and experienced confessor. Now I know what to go by in certain cases. And we're going to leave it there for today. And tomorrow we'll be back for more. As I said before, on our YouTube page, I do have a playlist there for the Diary of Saint Faustina, so you can get up to date with all the readings. And I do have some videos there that are from the nuns that I believe were in the order that she was in, and they talk about Saint Faustina. They're very, very interesting. They're very, very quiet. If you just want some quiet, relaxing time to listen to something, they're just really, really interesting, and they add more to the book and add more to who she was. Um, so I definitely, recommend listening to them. They're not in any order or anything. I'm just, as they come up, I post them, but they're all pertaining to her, so they're not in any order. They just talk about Saint Faustina, and they're extremely interesting. So I would definitely recommend listening to them if you have time. And like I said, if you're just looking for something quiet to do, pick up a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever, and take a listen to them because they're very, very interesting. Other than that, I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday. Stay well, stay safe, have a blessed day. God bless you all.